Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. Folks, as you know, the JRC has threatened a defamation lawsuit on NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, due to an article they wrote in 2021 where they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the quote-unquote so-called behavior treatment program at the JRC. And because we are salty and we believe in always sharing what makes that place scared, I have that article linked right there in the description box. Also have the public statement in regards to the threat from NeuroClastic. And down at the bottom, we are crowdfunding folks since they are being threatened in regards to assisting with legal fees. So if you got $1 to spare, please click on that link, donate. We would really appreciate it. We also have all the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Folks, when we speak about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. It is 4:48. I'm actually surprised I'm even halfway speaking coherent right now. So if I stumble over my words, apologies in advance, all right? So let's go to where we left off yesterday morning. I'm going to make this relatively short. I'm a wee bit brain dead. One student's behavior chart documenting total inappropriate behavior showed an increase from 800 per week during the first weeks after admission to JRC to average of 12,000 per week. We all saw that. Now let's see what light are going to shoot at us, shall we? I think we read this earlier, but I'll read it again. JRC has a welcome week policy in which no demands are placed on the student or behaviors are pinpointed. This is a place to give the student a chance to learn the rules and program and experience the rewards JRC has to offer. This may be the reason why there is a dramatic increase in behaviors in the record examined. After the first week, demands start to be placed on the student, often for the first time in a long time. Agree. That's a whole bunch of gaslighting, right? It's a whole bunch of bullshit, right? Oh no, we're going to let them and even encourage them to have those behaviors so we know what to torture them for later. I'm sorry, but that's what that sounds like to me. And also to give the parents a false sense of what a great place this is. It lulls them into a sense of security before they laid a whammy down on them. Clinician notes only document the number of inappropriate behaviors. They do not denote any positive behaviors or academic progress. We did go over this yesterday, so we'll go ahead and skip past that part here. The June report states that Level 3 procedures are used at JRC upon receipt of parental consent and after approval of substituted judgment petition to use Level 3 aversives through a Massachusetts probate court. Are you going to say that that's a lie? Because, yeah. The June report fails to mention that each Level 3 treatment plan is reviewed by the JRC's Human Rights Committee and Peer Review Committee, consisting of at least one licensed psychologist, and that all interventions requested are specific to the student. First of all, the fact that you guys have a Human Rights Committee is a fucking joke. It's a joke. But we care about their human rights. Then why the fuck are you treating them like less than dogs? If you gave a damn about anybody's human rights, you wouldn't make them earn every single bite of food. You wouldn't make them earn the right to go outside and blow off steam like any other child. You wouldn't make them earn and call reward basic life needs. Just saying. In a peer review committee with a psychologist. Well, I have to wonder about that psychologist's license, don't you? Because any psychologist who will sit down and say that it's okay to make a child earn every single bite of food, to deprive them of sleep, and to shock them into compliance doesn't deserve their license. And I said what I said. And all interventions are requested are specific to the student. I'm sure that you cater the torture to the student precisely, because that makes it better. The June report also fails to mention that only other levels of oversight involved: independent clinician, court-approved attorney, JRC's Level 3 certification from Massachusetts DMR. Oh, for fuck's sake. Again, any clinician outside the JRC would approve of this, is complicit in torture, and deserves their license revoked at minimum. It's a court-appointed attorney. You mean the same court that you've had in your back pocket since 1986? Those guys who never, ever protected the students at your school, ever? Those guys? Those are the ones you're talking about? Level 3 certification from Massachusetts DMR. For fuck's sake. Adversives should not be used, period. Period. You do not torture someone for being born different. What the hell is wrong with you people? The June report states that the GED receivers range in size. The GED receivers do not range in size. They are all manufactured using the same size parts. Really? Because that's not what we've seen in photos of the items, JRC. And we all are talking about photos we've seen from near 2012 trial. Students wear the GED for the majority of their sleeping and waking hours. Students whose behaviors improve are gradually faded from having to wear the GED. This might start for an hour or two a day and progress until they do not have to wear the device at all. Again, look at this. Faded from it. We remember that term, don't we? They're fading it from them. Fading it. Sure, Karen. Sure you are. Then why is it almost impossible for any student to remain off of the GED unless you fuckers torture them so bad that they have to be able to fucking recover before you put the torture device back on? Because that's the only kind of fading you do. It's the only kind of fading you do. And the minute that you pinpoint a behavior that isn't romanticized normal, doesn't exist anywhere except in the imagination of the medical model. Zzz. Fuck me. So basically you're just agreeing that New York is correct. Okay. And some students are required to wear it during shower bath time. JRC has changed its policy on bathing showering for the New York school-age students in response to the new NYSED emergency regulations on aversives. Prior to this change in policy, the arm on which the electrode was placed was situated outside the shower or bath and did not get wet. See letter to Commissioner Mills from Mike Flamia, June 16, 2006. But in 2009, Jennifer Massemba told you did in fact still have them wearing it in the showers and that they would go off in the fucking showers. You remember that? Because I do. And there was evidence to corroborate and back it up. But we're going to go ahead and end on that note, folks. You notice how, if you're watching the Day versus AH trial, how these guys act like Dr. Hughes, don't they? They gaslight, they generalize, and say, trust me, I'm a doctor. Yet, if you have actually worked in the field and you are against such behavior programs like at the JRC, and you know your shit, you can talk very specifically about specific laws, situations, what have you. It's very telling, isn't it? That's why you can't just trust these people, say, trust me, I'm a doctor. If they say, trust me, I'm a doctor, go find yourself another doctor immediately. If they say, trust me, we're school, we're the professionals, fucking run. Don't walk, run. And grab your child with you. And on that note, folks, we're going to close out for this morning. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.